So feeling creative and having a mind that's brimming with ideas isn't easy. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of conditioning, and it takes a lot of pruning. You have to get rid of some stuff in your life. You have to get rid of so many noises that you have outside of you. And to be able to focus so deeply on what interests you and what fascinates you, what you're curious about, you have to be in total solitude in some sense. Because when you have some outsidious stimulation, that's going to rob your mind of any internal navigation. So you're going to be navigating outside and you're not going to have so much internal exploration. So you're going to be externally oriented rather than internally oriented. And for creativity to flourish, you have to be internally oriented. There's no way you're ever going to feel that beautiful sense of creativity if you're always looking on the outside, if you're searching for something from the outside. And once you turn your attention to the world of ideas rather than social interaction, practicalities, all those pragmatic stuff that you need to do in order to survive, once you get your mind off of that and create this safe haven that you explore ideas in, you're going to make creativity much more accessible to you because now you've created this beautiful universe for yourself and you're not distracted. You're not flying on the exterior. You're actually very internally focused and dedicated to the task and to the craft. And it becomes you. You become it. It's as if you've taken out that survival need out of your human nature. And now you have this abundant way of thinking that doesn't feel the scarcity that it felt when it was always looking on the outside, when it was preoccupied with the worldly businesses that we are always attending to just to survive. So for me, the only way I can hone in on my creativity and to increase it is to get rid of all the distraction that has been springing out of my survival need, which is, for example, that social interaction that you always have, doing all the pragmatic things that you need to do, running errands, all of that. The way I do it is to batch all the practical stuff together and then have a load of time that I can just spend on something theoretical and very creative and idea related and just like not really in this practical world at all. Like it's just in a different dreamy world that just feels so otherworldly, but it's beautiful. It's like you're traveling to another universe, which is just fantastical to say, but it happens. It happens. It actually happens because, when you're busy all the time, you're not feeling that livelihood that we all are capable of. You're just attending to some matters and that's all you're doing. You're not creating something new. You're not generating something out of your own mind. You're just reacting. It's just very reactive. But once you get into that flow of innovation and creativity and novelty, that is not a reactive mode of being. It's rather a very focused and concentrated mode of being, which is like you following your own mind rather than following other people's minds or, whatever event is happening to you. It's not at all on the outside. It's all very internal. It's cultivating a very strong sense of self-reliance and being able to rely on your own mind for coming up with ideas and solutions and being able to entertain yourself by yourself and not look to the outside to find the source of idea or entertainment or value or anything else. It's like nowadays we've been engineered to seek these informations that we need to come up with on our own from some outsidious source. We're always just searching it up on the web and finding videos on it, trying to figure out what other people think about it. We're actually always plugged in the short video feed and we're just destructing this internal compass that we have to create our narrative, to create our ideas, to create this sense of excitement. We no longer sense anything just because we've shut that down. We've shut down the brain that was capable of creating, and we're always just looking on the outside. And it has become a habit of mind to search for it on an external level, not an internal level. It's about switching gears, relearning to rely on your own mind for creative ideas to spring out of there. If you're not feeling creative, it's not your mind's fault. It's not that your brain has lost its cognitive ability. It's that you have been adopting bad habits. You've been teaching your mind to never ever rely on the internal navigation and always look to other minds, not the mind of its own. So that's the key component of creativity, self-reliance. And being comfortable in solitude is a key part of that. Because if you're comfortable in solitude, that means that you don't need the external stimulation or external input to always be occupying you or accompanying you in every decision that you make or in every thinking session that you have. No, you are very much happier when you're on your own and you have all the time to yourself and to your mind to figure it out by yourself. And so we actually need to make sense of the world by ourselves rather than try to occupy our mind with some sort of like short stimulation that we receive on the net. But consumption of information isn't really the enemy. It's the format in which you're consuming the information. Because, for example, if you were to pick up a fiction book, you're gonna spend a lot of time in solitude and with your own mind and with your own ideas. And you're building the world of that fictional book in your own mind and by your own creative power. That's taking a lot of your power, and it's not relying 100% on the external. It's actually using some of the tools that you have on the outside to provoke some creative processes to be set in motion on the inside. It's the best use of your time to read and to be able to stay in silence and not seek any distraction. So I would say that's a better use of your time than just like scrolling past some videos. And also, there's something else that helps you a lot, which is drawing. Man, when you're sketching all by yourself, you're actually using your own creative power. It's not relying on anything else. You're just like sketching for the sake of sketching. And there's no focus on the distraction. It's actually focusing on a very blank piece of paper and bringing your ideas to that paper. And that works wonder for your brain. And there's also something else that can help you cultivate a creative muscle in your brain, which is to dedicate at least like 1 hour of your day to journaling and being able to create some new ways of interpreting the events that happens to you in that journaling session, which again helps your mind to rely on itself to interpret the events that happened and not try to seek some sort of content out there that could explain something to you. No, you're relying on your own storytelling, you're relying on your own interpretation, and you're fostering this beautiful habit of generating ideas by your own mind and not escape that process of creation by turning the entirety of your attention to the external. And I found this to be very helpful in general for me because, it's not just about making art. I think it's a mental skill that goes far beyond that. It helps you in situations that are extremely emotionally provocative. You're going to be able to control and regulate your own emotions so much better because you rely on your own mind. You have self-reliance, self-esteem, and self-assurance because you've done it before. You've been alone with yourself, with your own mind. You've figured it out before. And so it's only logical that you're going to figure it out in that situation as well. So that was it for today. I hope that I made some sense. Yep. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope that I can talk to you next time. Have a lovely day.